The average age of a home purchaser in America is now 56, a startling increase from 31 back in 1981. Of course, back in 1981, the median home price was only $68,900 compared to $417,000 today. As younger people continue to get priced out of the market, many are wondering when prices will come back down to reasonable levels. In my opinion, this is the wrong question to ask. A better question is, will home prices ever come back down to affordable levels for the majority of Americans? The answer to this question largely lies in which specific market you are referring to, as some markets have already seen a fairly considerable correction. However, at the moment, the Pacific Northeast appears to be holding steady. Looking at active housing listing data compared to pre-pandemic levels, we can see the Pacific Northeast has, for the most part, around 50% less homes listed than pre-pandemic. Interesting enough, this is a stark difference from the hot and trendy areas of the country, such as Texas and Florida, which have around 50% more active listings than pre-COVID. So, what can we make from this data? Well, essentially, there are way more homes for sale in the South than there are in the North. For example, as of January this year, there were 261,000 active listings in Texas and Florida alone, which is 207% higher than the total number of listings in the entire Northeast. Why is this important? Well, housing prices largely revolve around supply and demand. If supply is high, it would indicate that buyers have more options, and when you have more options, you tend to be slower to make a decision and shop around for the best deal. Think back to when Sony and Microsoft released their next generation consoles a few years back. Due to the large amount of buyers and limited number of available consoles, individuals could turn around and sell their consoles for hundreds of dollars over MSRP. Although housing is a very different category, the concept remains the same. If there are more people interested in buying than those who want to sell, the sellers have leverage and can levy up prices. When there are more sellers than buyers, the buyers have the leverage and can often negotiate discounts. So, why are house listings so slim in the Northeast? If you think about it, this should probably be the opposite way around, given that people have been migrating away from the cold Northeast down to the South for decades, especially since air conditioning is now a staple in the South. However, this migration trend actually created a fairly unique problem. As people left the Northeast, it caused housing prices to remain lower since there was a net outflow of people. Because of this, developers and home builders essentially avoided building homes in the Northeast during the last decade. According to Housing Wire, over half of the new homes built in America between 2009 and 2019 were built in the South, while only 8% were built in the Northeast. Fast forward to today, and we find that prices in the Northeast are actually still below both the national median sales price and the average new build cost. According to Redfin, as of April 2025, the median sale price in Pennsylvania was just above $306,000. This is around 30% lower than the national median sale price of $438,000 in April. According to NAHB, the average cost to build a single-family home in 2024 was around $428,000. This brings us to the ultimate question. If very few homes were built in the Northeast, and if the median sale price is significantly below both the national average and the cost to build a new home, then what is the argument for lower home prices in the Northeast? Quite frankly, I am not able to provide a good one. Many people assume that since prices in popular metro areas are starting to decrease, then surely the same will happen across the country. What they are failing to realize, however, is that these markets in decline seem to have a common denominator. The median sale price is either very close to the cost of a new construction or is actually higher than this figure. When this is true, it makes sense for prices to adjust downwards, because if a builder can build and sell a new home for cheaper than an existing one, the signal is strong to build. And eventually, as we are seeing, as the supply of new homes increase, the median sale price will begin trending downwards back to the price of a new construction. So, for those of you living and dreaming of owning a home in the Northeast, based on what I just laid out, I have some bad news for you. The likelihood of a major price correction is, in my opinion, very low. The truth is, there just aren't enough houses to meet demand in the Northeast, and as more people begin migrating up here to take advantage of the nationally cheap home prices, this will only continue to drive prices upwards. Therefore, if you are in a position and can currently afford to purchase a house but have been hanging on hoping for a discount, you may be hanging on for a while, and you may want to consider grabbing something before affordability becomes completely out of reach, as it already has in the majority of markets around the country. Remember, this is not financial advice. Cheers.